Hello, and thank you for attending Dr. David Lim's seminar on FDA compliance for GLP non-clinical studies in pharmaceuticals and the medical device industries. Today, Dr. Lim's going to cover regulatory strategy, regulation, and innovation. However, I want to cover a little bit of the FDA investigator perspective with regards to inspecting your GLP facilities and kind of what to expect. Your facilities will be audited every 2 years, or unless an application comes up and for approval and it's a directed inspection. Now, FDA usually starts with the compliance program guide aspects for 73, 48, 808 GLP clinical trial not compliance. Now, your FDA investigator will follow that compliance program guide to a T, play by play. They'll start with the inspectional aspects, and those usually cover what to obtain the first hour you're there. So they're going to want to see your facilities design, take a walkthrough so that they can compare that to your SOPs and how you conducted your protocols. What they're also going to look for is your quality assurance unit and how compliant you are with regards to your quality assurance unit. They will also look at your test article control and your records retention. One of the most important aspects they're going to review, though, is your raw data with regards to how it validates to your protocol data and to your final report. Now, data validation is a very important aspect of the GLP inspection process, and 3 to 4 studies that are FDA regulated, regardless of whether they're for human trials or animal trials, will be reviewed during your inspection. Sometimes they'll include a few more studies, instead of just 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, but that will depend on your compliance and whether they find observations or not during the review of your facilities. So one of the main parts to cover is, again, the animal care. Okay, so they're going to look at your facilities for how you take care of your animals during the protocol period, and that also concerns any type of sacrifice of the animals and at the end for toxicology or necropsy, tissue slides. Now, the FDA investigator will also migrate toward your test article control. Whether it's a drug or device, it's very important that you completely review your test article control through your quality assurance unit, because the investigator will focus on how you store your drug, how you administer the drug to the animals, and who has access to that, and are they trained. So that brings up another aspect of the inspection, the training of your personnel, whether it's your quality assurance unit, the actual individuals working on the GLP protocol, or whether it's your director of the facility. So the training records will definitely be reviewed for qualification. Now, moving on to the records retention, obviously the records portion of this, the FDA inspector is going to sit down and review these 3 protocols that are chosen from your master trial list. And what they're going to focus on is a risk-based approach. So whatever protocols you have that have the most risk in them, well, with regards to patient safety or animal safety, those are the protocols that are going to be reviewed every time. So your quality assurance unit should focus on these as well, knowing that those trials will be reviewed at every inspection. Now, during the inspection process, the facility's review is very important because the FDA investigator will go back and review your SOPs to see if they notice any inconsistencies between what your SOPs say and how your facilities are laid out, or how they observed any aspects of a protocol during that time period. So moving on to any observations or problems that may be found, again, going back to the Compliance Program Guide 7348-808, you can see exactly what areas that investigator is going to cover during his inspection. And I want to reiterate that because if you haven't already implemented SOPs that reflect the Compliance Program Guide, I would suggest that you do, because this Compliance Program Guide, Section 3, inspectional portion, gives you the exact compliance regulatory strategy, and it gives a reference to the 21 CFR code. And that way it helps you formulate the basis of some of your SOPs if you haven't already integrated these aspects of the Compliance Program Guide. Now, I would love to help your facility out with your GLP compliance. I wrote a book about FDA clinical trials, and GLP compliance is in many of my chapters. I discuss how important the GLP process is to figure out exactly what the toxicity of a test article is, or whether it's a device and you have to understand the tissue interactions. So I devote a large portion of some of my chapters to GLP compliance and breaking down the regulations as they pertain to FDA inspections. And I would, again, like to help you comply with your GLP regulations. And if I may do that, you can find me at tradestoneqa.com or Patrick Stone, FDA. You can Google those few things and my name will pop up. My book, Bubblegum Badge and FDA History, will also pop up and hopefully give you an intimate understanding about FDA compliance and inspector company interactions. There's a lot of interactions that go on during an inspection that really aren't understood, and there's a lot of FDA language that needs to be translated from acronyms into real words. And I try to do that in the book, and I believe I've done a fairly decent job of that. Now, if I can help you in the future, I would love to. Again, thank you for attending Dr. Lim's seminar. Have a great day.